Live. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl. You only win a Super Bowl 2 times every 5 years, right? Oh! The warm-up act is over. Let's bring in Melissa Etheridge, massive Chiefs fan. Melissa,
Super Bowl champion, 2-time Pro Bowler, and Trent Green. Trent Green, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
And he picked it up! He picked it up! He's gonna score! And we'll see you next week. But until then, as always, go Chiefs. Welcome into the Arrowhead Addict Chiefs halftime show. The Kansas City Chiefs are leading the Arizona Cardinals 17-7. My name is Patrick Allen, joined this week by Sterling Holmes and our guy Joe Summers. Fellas, how you doing? How's your weekend going?
Good, man. Stuff is good. It's hot as hell. But you know what you can do when it's hot? You can golf. You can go to the pool. You can crush some beers. You can watch some Chiefs football. Life is good.
Joe?
It is. It's a lot better than last week. I tell you what, that was a much more fun first half than we saw last week. Got some golf in myself today. It might be a little bit too hot, but it's still a beautiful day nonetheless, especially up 17-7.
Yeah. Chiefs little rusty on offense to start, a little sloppy, but they got their reps in, and I think a lot of good from that first half. I just want to kick it to you guys and what stood out to you in the first half. Let's go, Sterling.
Slow start again. I'm sitting here going, okay, what the hell is going on? Next thing you know, you see a long-ass drive into the touchdown. Still a little bit messier than you would like. A couple of penalties here and there. But all in all, I was really impressed. Patrick Mahomes was trying to do a little too much in a preseason game, trying to act like he's Derek Jeter with a jump throw. Not going to lie, very impressive. Please do not do it in a preseason game. The offensive line as a whole has been absolutely outstanding. That to me has been a huge standout. Rashee Rice, after that initial drop, I love Travis Kelce going up to him, just giving, hey, you're good, man. You get your number called, and what did you see? They went back to Rashee Rice. They kept that confidence high. I was a big fan of that. And one last thing was Justin Ross. He put that dude in a spin cycle on that whip route. There is a lot of competition because you also saw Justin Watson catch a touchdown. That wide receiver 4, 5, 6 spot is very, very loaded.
Yeah, it sure is. Everybody is getting involved right now on offense, and they put a bunch of different wide receivers out there with the starters. And you're right. I had my eyebrows raised as the second game in a row that Rashee Rice had a bad drop. Mahomes hit him right in the hands on a slant. He was open. He's a rookie. And this is why I like that Andy Reid plays guys in the preseason. Let them get out there. Let him see balls coming at him from Mahomes. What's it going to be like? Let him get the yips out because you'd rather see the drops now than in the regular season when they're trying to move down the field and score a touchdown. Joe, what about you, man? What stood out for you in that first half?
Well, I mean, even with the drop, I think you hit the nail on the head. Rashee Rice, 7 catches, 85 yards. He was clearly the focal point of the offense. I know we don't love to see Mahomes kind of mess around in the preseason, but it brought butterflies to me. I thought it was beautiful just to see him playing just the same way that he always does. A little bit scared about the field, but I got to be honest. My takeaway was I really like Shane Buechele. Shane Buechele can play. He's nice, and I like that he's been playing over Gabbert. I want to see more out of him. Hopefully we keep going to Rice. But yeah, there's a lot of competition in the wide receiver room. I think the defense played well overall, a lot better than last week for sure. So it's good, encouraging to see that. Love seeing Pat be Pat, and I think we might have something with Buechele.
I want to touch, you said the defense, and it just reminded me of how good the linebacker play was. You saw Nick Bolton, again, with a small sample size in preseason. It's Arizona, right? We're not talking about them going up against the Bills or the Bengals. It's Arizona. But you saw Nick Bolton have a phenomenal pass coverage rep against a tight end. That was his struggles ever since he came into the NFL. You're seeing some progression there. You saw Willie Gay Jr. identify a screen pass early, not only identify it, which has been a struggle for him, he shed that blocker like it was nothing. He came up with a huge play. The linebackers as a whole have been very impressive. Drew Tranquil, we were promised the versatility. He has brought the versatility. I believe it was him who had, was it Toon in his arms and didn't bring him down? Yeah. It was a case probably of, hey, it's preseason. I'm not trying to injure this guy. I don't want to flag. Well, he got out. But I love the fact that he's getting back there. And even Leo Chenal, to an extent, was looking pretty good. So I'm very enthused about the linebackers.
Yeah, Drew Tranquil, he knifed right through that offensive line. That was a great play. Exciting to see his explosiveness. Yeah, I mean, we got to talk a little bit about Shane Buechele. I know nobody really cares about the backup quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, but backup quarterbacks have been very crucial to this team on their roads to the Super Bowls. Things happen. You don't want them to, but you want to have a confidence that the guy that's going to step in there is good. And there's a reason why they've been keeping Shane Buechele on the roster. And I thought it was very telling when they put him out there and there were still a number of I think the entire starting offensive line was still out there. Sky Moore was out there. They wanted to see, because as is often the case in the preseason, you're the backup, second or third string. You're playing with guys who probably aren't even going to make the team. It's a little bit taller of a task for you. So let's put them out there in a situation. And that was not by accident. They did not do that by accident, putting Shane Buechele out there instead of Blaine Gabbert. I'm sure that the coaching staff wanted to get a look at him to see, how do we feel about this guy? Could he be our backup quarterback instead of Blaine Gabbert? They may still keep Gabbert on the roster, but like, fact of the matter is, Shane Buechele went 10 of 10 for 105 yards.
I want to bring something up here because I've seen a lot of this. So the new rule, everyone automatically assumes we can keep 3 quarterbacks because that third quarterback doesn't count against the game day roster. It still counts against your 53-man roster, okay? So there still is a possibility the Chiefs don't keep 3, okay? It still counts against the 53, but on the 46 game day roster, that third quarterback spot does not count. It's a freebie and it only works for that third quarterback. So keep that in mind. There still is a legitimate backup quarterback battle. I also wonder if this is a little showcase. The Patriots did it for a long time. Jimmy G, they got a king's ransom back for what turned out to be a very average at best quarterback. I wonder if the Chiefs, they have this Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes pixie dust magic sprinkled all over Shane Buechele. Looks good right now. I wonder if a QB needy team, Tampa Bay, calls him up. What could you get? Could be a little interesting storyline here.
How about the team they're playing? The Cardinals are sitting there with Colt McCoy, 5 of 8 for 25 yards. They don't know when they're going to get their quarterback back, if at all, this year. And Kyler Murray, they're seeing this guy up close firsthand. I doubt anybody makes a move for somebody like Buechele off a preseason play. But should he ever have to step into action in the regular season, even if it's like a game 17 type of situation where the Chiefs have a spot clinched and he gets a spot start. We've seen Matt Flynn had a kind of a situation like that and then got a big contract and then they drafted Russell Wilson. So you never know what's going to happen. What about on the defensive side of things, Joe? I noticed George Karlaftis flashing. I saw somebody in the chat also say FAU's not showing much. I'm seeing it. That field, and I'm not trying to be like an Eagles player here making excuses, but I was watching FAU very closely in that second quarter, and he was slipping and sliding all over the place. That field looks absolutely awful. But what did you see, Joe, on the defensive side of the ball?
Well, I agree with Sterling. I'm excited about the linebackers. The skill set of Drew Tranquil being really good in pass coverage, that versatility, it perfectly complements Bolton and Willie Gay, because the weaknesses of our linebacking core are seemingly solved by what he brings to the table. So I'm excited about that. I thought Chenal played well. It's nice to see the defensive line get into the backfield and for the most part, time the run game. I was encouraged and not getting beat deep. Obviously, if you have 8 passes for 25 yards, you're not getting beat over the top. So the pass coverage held up well too. But yeah, the linebacking core after the last few years, you could really see the flashes of what it could be. And this feels like the best linebacking core we've had here in quite some time.
Yeah. Surprisingly, Danny Shelton was flashing for me. Danny Shelton, the big boy. He looked pretty good at times, especially on the goal line kind of stand. It was a stand until third down, and then they were able to score. The cornerbacks, for the most part, have been impressive. McDuffie, his early tackles were nice to see, not allowing the receiver to even reach the ball out for a first down. That was just a smart IQ. That's a veteran move from a sophomore year player. That's nice to see. Joshua Williams getting some run. I like seeing that. DiCaprio Boodle, man, I'm still I feel bad. He's been on the cusp for a few years now, and he's not doing himself any favors.
No.
Feel bad for DiCaprio Boodle. I need to look at FAU more. I've seen people on both sides of the spectrum here. I've seen a whole bunch of people saying, where has he been? What is he doing? I've seen people saying, well, he looks great. I need to look at the all 22. I'm not going to lie. I've not focused on FAU specifically yet. I've not just trained my eye to him yet. I need to see more from him. The defensive line's been fine, but I'm still a little nervous that Spags is having to call this many exotic blitzes in a preseason game against a team like the Arizona Cardinals. That is a little maybe cause for concern.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. He wants to try to ramp things up a little bit, get some momentum, simulate what those DBs are going to be seeing in the regular season. So I'm kind of good with it. And yeah, in these preseason games, when you're watching them live, you just have to make a decision on who you want to watch on any given play. I try to do it multiple plays in a row so I can just try to zero in on one person. So go to the Chiefs website, find everybody's number. And then not everyone's going to be in frame, but I watched FAU. I'm going to be watching him on defense if he's still out there. And then I'm going to be watching Wanye Morris again once he gets back out on the field at the tackle spot and see how he does in the second half. All right, guys, what's your prediction? Chiefs going to pull this one out? We're going to have to get back here.
Yeah, yes. I've got the Chiefs. In my betting show, I took the Chiefs at FanDuel to win by 1 to 13 points. So I'm hoping it stays in this range. That touchdown at the end was nice for me.
Sterling?
Yeah, the Chiefs will hold on. Even Chris Aludicon will be fine in this one. Even if he's throwing screen pass pick sixes, I think the Chiefs will have this one in tow. I will also say really quickly, I love the early on preseason game. Andy Reid still throwing a new little wrinkle in there. That little pop pass to Travis Kelce, a wrinkle on the bowling ball red zone move. I love seeing that. I know Kelce dropped it, but that looks like a new potential red zone play that I had my eye on.
Yeah, something to show, put some things on tape, and then they'll have some sort of, totally different look with it once the regular season gets here. All right, we're going to get back to the game. Join us back here after the game on the Arrowhead Addict YouTube channel for our Chiefs post-game show. We'll break down all the second half action. We'll be happy to hear from you and what you saw from the Chiefs players in the second half. But until then, as always, go Chiefs.